On today's show,
Zutalo! Tony Parker will miss the remainder of the playoffs with a leg injury, but can the Spurs still win without him?
Rudy Gay joins us on set to talk the NBA's best player, his finals pick, and Salt Lake City nightlife.
And it's Bring Your Dog to Work Day in a brand new edition of the Meme Team.
It's Thursday, May 4th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live on NBA TV, or later on YouTube, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Millis.
4th of May be with you.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily.
And last, certainly not least, over yonder, it is the bearded one, it's Trey Kirby.
Hey
yo! TK, what do you got?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters, and I hate to say it, guys, but the Raptors got LeBron'd again last night as the King went for 39 points on 10 of 14 shooting in another Cavs win. But when he was asked about stopping LeBron in postgame, DeMar DeRozan had an interesting answer saying, if you can find somebody to stop LeBron in these moments, I'll give you $100. But honestly, with the way LeBron's been playing, $100 is probably a bit cheap.
Yeah.
But it brings us to today's question. What other NBA rewards could be offered? For instance, I'd like to offer a reward for somebody to import Jose Calderon's ham into America, because at this point I have to taste it. I'd also like to offer one to see Shaq's 2000 dunk contest footage, because it has to be amazing. And of course, we're putting out a bounty for that 50th wedgie. I know we haven't even gotten number 49 yet, but my eyes are on the prize. Nonetheless, we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter what other NBA rewards could be offered. Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you a little bit later.
All right, get those tweets in. We got a really fun show tonight. Kings forward Rudy Gay is going to join us live in studio to play a little Lock It In. And we got a brand new edition of the Meme Team, but we start here on Thursday night with a little true or false. It is the playoffs edition. Trey's got the questions. We've got the answers. Hopefully we have a little debate. Trey.
Bad news in San Antonio as Spurs point guard Tony Parker went down late in Game 2 with what turned out to be a ruptured left quad tendon that's going to keep him out for at least the remainder of the playoffs. Spurs won last night and ripped off a 19-0 run when Parker went down, but true or false, the Spurs can't win without Tony Parker?
I think it's false. This is terrible for the Spurs, obviously, because Parker really has jumped another level going for the regular season to playoffs. 16 points per game, 53% from the floor. No one really expected that. That being said, I think it's false because they can do it by committee, number one, and number two, you're just going to ask Kawhi Leonard to do a whole bunch more. You're just going to ask him to be the point guard at times out on the floor, no matter who you start. If you start DeJounte Murray, if you start Patty Mills, Kawhi Leonard is going to be the primary ball handler and the secondary ball handler. He's just going to have to do a heck of a lot on offense.
Yeah, it makes life a whole lot harder for the San Antonio Spurs. You can replace his minutes, but you can't replace his experience, his leadership, his knowledge of the system, and knows how to play under Greg Popovich, hits clutch shots as well. Like, his numbers never jump off the board at you, but in those crucial moments, Tony Parker knows how to get inside, get into the paint, and score baskets. So I think the primary ball handling responsibilities are probably going to start with Patty Mills, and then it's going to be Kawhi, and probably Manu Ginobili as well is going to have to do a lot of it. So the Spurs never make excuses. It's next guy up with them, and DeJounte Murray. These other guys are going to have to fill in the minutes. It's going to be tougher, but we know with San Antonio, they can win pretty much under any circumstance.
The Spurs were pretty solid during the regular seasons when Parker missed a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
I believe he missed 19 games. They went 15-4. Sometimes they started Mills. Sometimes they started Murray. Who do you think Pop ultimately goes with in the starting role?
I think they start DeJounte Murray.
I agree with you.
He started the exact same amount of games as Patty Mills, and Tony Parker's role is, when there's some space out there, just attack. And DeJounte Murray is an athletic freak. That's his job. He is going to find some space out there because guys are going to go towards LaMarcus, Pau Gasol, the new starters stretch the floor. People are going to be focusing on Kawhi, but I think they've made this season, or they've planned the season around DeJounte Murray possibly playing more games and starting more games in that Tony Parker role. Who knows what Tony Parker was going to be able to give them. Again, DeJounte Murray, this could be a late first round fine that the Spurs come up with again.
Right.
You know, he's a rookie, so it's hard to put this on him, but I think he starts with all those veterans out there rather than him coming out with the second unit. Just play with the great players, so there isn't a lot of pressure on him, and Patty Mills continues on that role on the bench.
Yeah, I think Popovich likes to keep things consistent as much as possible, and if you insert Patty Mills, that weakens your second unit, which Murray, hey, you know, obviously he plays that as well, but I think it's probably more likely he starts Murray. Things aren't going well, then he can bring Patty out pretty quickly, because Patty, he's a pretty high-tempo guy, but I think Popovich loves that energy that he brings to that second unit.
We will see, and hopefully it's not the last we've seen of obviously Tony Parker in the NBA. All best wishes to him getting healthy. All right, Trey, next one.
Kawhi Leonard guarded James Harden from the jump last night, and surprise, surprise, it worked out pretty well. The two-time Defensive Player of the Year helped hold Harden to a career playoff worst, 3 of 17 shooting, and just 13 points in the Spurs win. Guys, true or false? The Spurs' best adjustment was putting Kawhi on Harden.
It's true, I think.
Best adjustment.
Yeah, because the key wasn't just to slow down James Harden, it was to slow down the Houston Rockets offense, which got off to such an incredible start in Game 1. And that's what you saw. James Harden couldn't get into a flow early on. When the Rockets did get shots, they were always contested. They never built up that huge lead that they got in Game 1 and then just cruised from there. And I think that was the smartest thing Popovich could have done. He's your best defender. James Harden is their best player. Get in his face, make things uncomfortable for him, and see if how the Rockets can go chasing the San Antonio Spurs. It worked out perfectly for them.
Yeah, the big thing with Kawhi obviously guarding Harden in any sort of pick and roll situation compared to like a Danny Green is Kawhi will just fight harder than any other guy maybe in the league of trying to get over or through that screen so you don't get matched up so much with like a really big Spurs player on Harden, try to slow him. And you know, Harden sort of then started to settle for the shots and didn't get to the line a whole lot. I think he only got to the line when he was doing his three-point sort of, jump into a guy's. Yeah, he wasn't really attacking.
He had more free throws than Game 1, though.
Yeah, ironically, true.
And despite Harden's first half struggles, they still scored 55 points. That should still be enough to win a basketball game. I think Popovich's best adjustment was on the other end, the Spurs offense. He told Kawhi Leonard, hey, don't score 21, score 34. Hey, LaMarcus Aldridge, don't score 4, score, what did he score last night? 15. I mean, they just found their sort of groove. Everything was better. They turned the ball over less. They made some shots. So their defense, their transition defense was a lot better for all of the Rockets. I can't believe how well they scored. You know, they scored 67 at half. They had 69 through 3 quarters the first game when everybody was panicking. You know, they just put it all together. Very Spurs-like.
Another move I liked was giving Jonathan Simmons a whole lot more minutes, meaningful minutes in this game. And a big part of that was like Pop finally decided, all right, I'm not going to play too big, especially down the stretch here when we got into the fourth. This was still a close game. Like it ended out in a blowout for the Spurs, but the Rockets were right there through 3 quarters.
Yep.
And Pop decided not to play 2 bigs. Instead went with 1 usually, and then Ethan Simmons sort of as a 4. They went smaller, and it sure paid off here. Yeah. And I think you sort of have to do that against the Rockets.
You can't play 2 bigs. So the Spurs, we saw what happened in Game 1. They just can't get out to shooters quick enough. So you can rotate those bigs in, but only have 1 at the same time.
They played 2 bigs a lot of the game, though.
Yeah, but they got outscored a ton when they had the 2 bigs on there versus when they had 1. Then they
seemed to work better, at least through the fourth quarter. We'll see what Pop does in Game 3. All right, Trey, final one.
All right, in Game 1 of the Cavs-Raps series, LeBron James caught an off-the-glass alley-oop 3 minutes into the game, and then he later considered throwing down a brewski on the sidelines. To follow that up in Game 2, LeBron casually spun the ball in his hand not once, but twice before draining a 3 right in Serge Ibaka's face. True or false? Hate to ask this, guys. LeBron has no respect for the Raptors. No respect.
We've already given up talking about the series. Now we're talking about LeBron's respect. I think he respects the Raptors. Would he be as good as he is if he didn't respect the Raptors? Would he give this lifetime performance the way he's playing out there? I think they have so much confidence. They don't think they can lose. But I think respect is a different thing. I think the Raptors have to take some of that confidence away at the beginning of games. But no, they don't think that they can lose at all.
I think we might find out in Game 3 how much LeBron and the Cavs really respect the Cavs. Like, if we get sort of a repeat performance of last year when the Cavs blew them out in Cleveland, then they went up to Toronto in the conference finals and didn't play it up to their capabilities, gave 2 back, and it was suddenly 2-2, then maybe he doesn't disrespect them. But if they come out, and I'm getting a little worried as a Raps fan, that you're hearing all this talk of, like, Kyle Korver saying, the guys want to sweep the Raps here. They want this rest ahead of the next round. They go up there in Game 3 and play the way they've played harder than the Raptors in the first 2 games. Not only are they better to begin with and have more talent because you got LeBron, they've played harder. And then that's like a recipe for disaster for the Raps. So I think I'm waiting for Game 3 to ultimately give you my true or false answer on this one. I think it just depends on what type of Cavs team we see in Game 3.
Yeah, I think he has professional respect and courtesy for the Raptors, but on the court in a basketball sense, he doesn't fear them at all. He's not scared of them. He doesn't think he can't just go out there and put up 39 points on, 14 shots anytime he
hasn't
wants.
lost a series in the Eastern Conference since 2010, so it's been a while.
Yeah, the best line about LeBron, the way he's playing recently from SB Nation today about the King, LeBron is beating the Raptors with the attitude of a man who is annoyed at the fact that he has to answer work emails on his day off. He's like, all right, I guess we got to go through them. Yeah, they can't not hit the 3 ball right now. They're locking up DeRozan. They've completely taken DeMar out of this series. Everything's going
Yeah.
well for the Cavs right now. Can the Raps make this a
There's a
series?
huge talent gap between the two teams. So the Raptors have to take away some of that confidence. They have to, it's old school thinking, but they have to get nitty gritty. They got to get into their shorts. They have to just muck it up. That's their only really
chance.
way to do it.
We will see soon enough on Friday night, Game 3. We got to take a break. Lots more still to come here on the starters. When we return, Sacramento Kings forward Rudy Gay is going to join us live in studio to play a little lock it in, a little wrinkle to this one. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the starters, where we're now joined by Kings forward Rudy Gay. Rudy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. All right, we got a fun little game for you here. It's
Okay.
called Lock It In, but a little wrinkle here with you in studio. You're the man in charge of the button.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's how it works. We're going to hit you with a few statements about the NBA.
All right.
And if you 100% agree, you're going to press that button and lock it in.
Okay.
If not, no sweat.
Move on to the
We
next
talk
one.
it out and move
Yeah.
it on to the next one.
Okay.
All right?
All
Simple
right.
as that. So here it is. And they're all about the playoffs here.
All right.
Greg Popovich recently said Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard, is he the best player in the NBA? Do you want to lock it in, Rudy?
Thinking about it.
He's close.
Okay.
He's close.
Okay.
He's close.
Okay. So who is it?
Who is it?
Yeah.
Besides me, I'd say,
Yeah, of course.
You can't deny the way LeBron's playing right now.
Right.
He always takes on the leadership role, but it always goes up another level during these playoffs. It's hard to deny him right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is Kawhi the most surprising guy who's taken his game to such a high level that you've seen? When he came out of college, he couldn't really shoot. The Spurs traded for him on draft night, and now he's considered top 2 or 3 in the league.
Yeah, he's become a great player, man. And like every year, he's taken leaps and bounds into being the player he is right now. I think he still can get a lot better. Came in as a defender, solely as a defender. Became one of the best three-point shooters in the league, and also one of the best scorers. And he's a great player, but I don't see that happening on any other team.
LeBron does have 14 years of experience here,
he
too,
does.
and still is amazing. All right, next one here. All right. Isaiah Thomas is the quickest guard in the NBA. Does Rudy Gay lock it in?
With or without the ball.
I like that follow-up
See?
question.
Yeah.
I like that follow-up question. Let's say with the ball. Lock it in! Lock it in! Okay, so Isaiah with the ball, quickest, fastest in the league. Maybe without the ball, not the fastest.
Maybe not. But, the thing about him is he's crafty. And
Right.
he gets to, it's like I always said about Zebo. Somebody just told him that you were small. Well, they didn't tell Zebo. Let me rephrase it. Just like they told Zebo, you can't jump.
Right.
You can do
You're
all
not
those things.
athletic
You're not
enough.
athletic,
Yeah.
so you have to learn how to position yourself. He always has been small. So, he knew that he has to play angles and get to the basket how he knows how to, and he's been doing that for years, and now he's just doing it at a bigger clip.
All right, okay. Next one here. Matt Barnes made some news last week saying Salt Lake City, we got to go to Utah, we got to play there. The nightlife's not great, wish we were playing LA. Salt Lake City has the worst nightlife. Does Rudy Gay lock it in?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know. I've never done anything in Salt Lake City, so
Never done anything.
could be true. I don't know. This button, let's just keep this close to me. 'Cause when I go out to Salt Lake, I can just press the button. But right now, I don't know.
So when you're there playing the Jazz, you're just there, you're in and out, on to the next one.
First getting into this league, Jazz was a title contender when I first got into the league. So, especially playing against teams like that, I've always had the mentality that I need to get my rest and eat and be ready for tomorrow. But I guess I got into that rhythm, so I haven't been out.
Sure.
I don't know.
You're a pro. You're a pro's pro. All right, next one here. Warriors Cavs NBA Finals round 3. Do you lock it in that that's what we're gonna get?
That's only the second round. You get
Yeah.
came with it. All right.
Okay. So you, like many people, think we're ultimately on a collision course for Warriors Cavs for the third time here in the finals.
They're the two most dominant teams.
Right.
They're loaded and they're playing well together,
Yeah.
both sides. And I think we're all just waiting for them to match up again. Now with KD, let's see what they can do against the Cavs team that beat them last year.
Sure. All right, should be good. All right, final one here. With a quick little look here. This one I'm excited to ask. I think I know what's going to happen here, but I'm still excited to ask it nonetheless. Rudy Gay will be back on the court next season. Do you lock it in? Yeah, you can break that point. Yeah, lock it in.
Lock it in, button.
Lock it in, man.
The rehab's going well. You're feeling great. You're going to be out there.
I'm feeling great. You know, to be honest with you, when it happened, I really didn't know what to think. But you know,
what do you mean by that? You thought,
you know,
wow,
I mean,
like career over type thing?
No,
or?
I mean just from what you hear about the surgery.
Sure.
I've talked to some guys. I've talked to Wes Matthews. I've talked to Kobe, and they all told me, you know, basically just how you come back is how hard you work. So you know, I've been killing myself in the gym and in rehab. So you know, if that's true, I'll be back and hopefully better than ever.
Well, it's good to be true. You locked it in.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, you know.
Hey, that's not just a button.
I
There's
need
a
to keep
lot of
this
power
with me.
that, but
Yeah,
I need to keep this
walk
with me.
around with
Lock
it,
a lot of things in.
Rudy, we can't thank you enough for swinging by the starters.
Thanks
Really
for having
appreciate
me.
it and have a blast on Game Time tonight.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, guys, we got to take a break. When we come back, the meme team goes to the Dogs. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the starters.
The Starters on NBA TV is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, proud partner of the NBA. Do your friends proud. Please drink responsibly.
Every Thursday, we huddle around Trey's computer, jump on the internet, and put together the meme team. Our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7 days.
At number 5, Robin Lopez brought his dog Muppet to the exit interview. That is an actual dog. That is not a stuffed animal by any sort. There, he turned
What
his
kind
head.
of doodle is that? You got a golden or a labra?
That dog looks like it can talk.
That's a dog. That's still a dog.
At number 4, everybody loves the kiss cam, except when you're sitting next to your mom up in the stands, like this Bucks fan. Yeah, you can see him mouth it here. That's my mom. And then his mom, ugh, that's my son. That's awkward.
We found through reports that she's 48.
Yeah.
She looks great.
Yeah.
Looks young.
Yeah.
Great
Be
at
flattered.
48.
He's only 10 years old. That's the weird part.
At number 3 this week, the Warriors' Matt Barnes was asked about the difference of playing in Utah or LA for the second round. His comments garnered some headlines. He said there's no nightlife in Utah. Obviously, as players, you want to be able to have a little bit of nightlife, but the main focus is winning games. But as far as nightlife, there's no comparison to nightlife in Utah or LA. The score suggested the Warriors go to Vegas in between games. Little Hangover remake for them. Draymond Green, Zach Galifianakis, that's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It fits.
Vegas! We're going to Vegas! Yeah, it's only a few hours.
Oh,
And the Jazz got behind some nightlife t-shirts. These are on sale for $10.
that's a good shirt.
Not bad.
Yeah. At number 2, Isaiah Thomas. He lost a tooth during Game 1 of the Celtics second round series. He popped out there. He had a great old grin. Yeah, it's fully gone there.
pirate.
Didn't seem to bother him all that much. But then, yeah, internet got to work. Harry from Home Alone. Dragonfly drones from Martin. I ain't got no money, punk! And my favorite, who needs the truth when you got the tooth?
It's a good nickname.
Yeah, the tooth.
At number 1, we're 2 wedgies away from 50 for the season, so we solicited the help of the biggest wedgie fan of all, Shaquille O'Neal.
Hello, I'm Shaq O'Neal, and I want your wedgies. If you have dunk wedgies, block wedgies, I want them. Not these wedgies. Those wedgies. Deep wedgies, soft wedgies. Send them to me. I need them. I love wedgies. Send me your wedgies, and I'll be happy. Remember, stick the wedgies in if you wanna be my friend. If you wanna be my friend, just stick the wedgies in. Wedgies!
Yep,
It's a thing we
we did this.
With an NBA Hall of Famer. MVP.
Still too short, though.
Another day at the office. Starters. All right, when we return, Lee's VSP. You're watching the starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Back with the starters, we asked you, what are some other NBA rewards? You hit us up on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Trey, you got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, Aaron Smith says wanted, a superstar for the Hawks. Reward a max contract immediately. Smart move. Zach says 55,000 should be granted to the first person to find Dikembe Mutombo saying yes to someone on the court. But my favorite comes from Joey, who says $500 for Paul Pierce dunk contest footage. 750 for both phones.
Both angles. Multi-shoot.
Alt angles.
All right, Lee, where are we going for VSP? Who gets the honor?
We're going to San Antonio for a nice little 1-2 here with Patty Mills and Johnny Simmons. Here it is. Look at that. 2 bounce passes, then a beautiful layup to finish. That's what the VSP is all about. Good teamwork.
I saw that happen.
Yeah.
I said, Lee's throwing some thumbs on that.
Oh, you betcha I am. That's what I call a very solid play.
Nice.
That was quite solid. Now it's time for the fan of the night, because the fans bring it in the postseason. And these 2 young whippersnappers, well, they really brought it here. They both want the cameraman's attention. They're dueling kids.
Okay, you guys, you're both on camera. I mean,
Yeah, there's enough room for both of you there. Whoa,
whoa!
This is like the backstory for a young Ken and Ryu.
Wow.
All right, tomorrow, guys, it's Friday already. Wow, where did that week go? We'll have the Drop podcast up as early as possible. You can catch it on iTunes, Google Play Music. We get it up on our website. Always a blast. That's tomorrow, though. Tonight, we got some games. The 40 games in 40 nights. It all continues here. 2 games on tonight, both on ESPN. Celtics Wizards Game 3. Boston leading this series 2-0. Must win. Must win for the Washington. And second game tonight, Jazz at Warriors Game 2. Dubs up 1-0 in that one. Quick little look ahead as we wrap up tonight's show, though. Isaiah Thomas, 33 points in Game 1, 53 in Game 2, which we talked about on yesterday's show. Can the Warriors?
He's going for 100 tonight.
Can the Warriors stop Isaiah Thomas? And if you, how do you go about doing that?
The Warriors can't do it. The Wizards can't do it. The
I meant
Bucks
the
can't
Wizards.
do it.
Yeah,
The
they're
Pacers
all-
can't do it. The
yeah.
Pistons can't do it. No one can do it.
Right.
So they just have to hope that they're going home and that the tide's turn. I think we forget after that 53-point performance, it still went to overtime. The Wizards still had a great shot at winning it. They're just trying to go home and win a basketball game. And they very well could have already won 2. So IT is a problem because he's a problem for everyone in the league. Everyone's tried to stop him. But they just go home and hopefully win 1 for themselves.
I expect the Wizards maybe try to trap him, double team him, get the ball out of his hands, because then he can't hurt them as much, and you're putting it in those other guys, Jay Crowder and Bradley, to hit shots.
Sure.
It's going to be a little bit tougher on the road.
On the road.
Yeah.
All right, we will see. We'll see you guys for the Drop tomorrow morning and here tomorrow night.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, our show is ending now. Not yet.
Embrace the
Now,
night, people.
now.